Ball is a final.
877-710 ESPN.
It's the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Tipping off now.
Now, here's Allen Sliwa.
Lakers drop game one of the 2020-2021 season. 116-109, the final score to the Los Angeles Clippers. Dig themselves a hole that they couldn't get out of. Came all the way back. Lakers were down 22 at one point. Came all the way back to tie the game. And then eventually the Los Angeles Lakers lose to the Los Angeles Clippers 116-109. Outscored in that third quarter 33-24 after they were only down 2 at halftime. That's really the difference of the game. And defensively for the Los Angeles Lakers, obviously this is not going to be one of the games that we look back on and say that the Lakers played perfect on the defensive side of the ball. It's definitely not going to be one of the games that's going to be a blueprint for the Los Angeles Lakers. They will get better. Just kind of think about that. This is something that Lakers head coach Frank Vogel has said really over the last couple of weeks. He's talked about this, where he thinks that it's going to take time to really see what this Lakers team is. And, certainly I don't think anybody's going to be surprised about that. Lakers are going to need some time to figure out what their strengths are. You got a lot of players that are going to obviously start chipping in this season that were not on the roster before. So Montrezl Harrell, I thought, was a highlight for the Lakers. Dennis Schroeder, I thought, was a highlight for the Lakers. But the reality as a team for the Lake Show, this one did not go as planned. And certainly, from my perspective, not expected. I did not expect the Lakers to lose this one tonight, but I also understand that the Clippers, this was a very, very important, meaningful game for them. Why? Because they had to watch the Los Angeles Lakers get their championship ring. They had to sit back and, it was a amazing experience. I know it was odd just being at Staples Center. It's the first time I had not been there for the preseason game, so to see the ring ceremony without any fans, of course, it's incredibly different. It's incredibly weird. But there's a team in the other locker room that was supposed to be competing for a championship last season, so they had extra motivation tonight to try and come out, jump all over the Lakers, and they did. And the Clippers 116-109. As we do in every postgame show, we, of course, want to hear from Laker fans. So let me throw out the number here real quick. 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. If you want to be a part of the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show, you got thoughts on the Lakers' loss to the Los Angeles Clippers. We'll, of course, throughout the show, get to hear from Lakers head coach Frank Vogel, some of the players. As we progress through the show, we'll certainly bring those interviews to you. Couple things that stand out to me, and I just want to key in on one thing here. Defense is the name of the game for the Los Angeles Lakers, and if the Lakers, if they play solid defense, if they put themselves in a position where defense is the foundation, and certainly that was the case for the Lakers last year. There were a lot of games where the anchor was defense, and anytime you have a team that is relying on defensive stops, and you got as much talent as the Lakers do offensively, the offense. I got no concerns or worries that Anthony Davis, who tonight I'd say had a okay game. That wasn't an AD game. 18-7. Most Laker fans are accustomed to 28-12 when you talk about Anthony Davis. A couple block shots, maybe a steal or two. No steals, no block shots. So. And then you kind of go down the list here, LeBron James. Those are your two superstars. You're expecting, obviously, the most from those two players. LeBron had 22 points, shot 7-17 from the field, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 8 turnovers combined between Anthony Davis and LeBron James. You know what this game seemed like to me? It seemed like a game for both of those guys where they're going to need some time, a little bit of time to kind of get into a proper NBA regular season. What'd they play? Half of the game against the Suns in Game 3 of the preseason, and then Game 4 of the regular season, they played a little bit more than that. AD played 30 minutes, so those guys are going to need obviously some more time. Marc Gasol, virtually non-existent tonight, was in foul trouble the entire time, had 5 personal fouls, no points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. So that's obviously a player that you will expect as the season progresses that he's going to have more of an impact. And I'm just going down the list of, different Lakers from a were they consistent tonight? How much were they an asset tonight, or were they a liability? even a guy like KCP, who I think had 9 points all in the first half, ended up with just 9 points, 2 of 4 from the field. So you had a few different players that had opportunities, that played 20-plus minutes and just really didn't deliver much for the Lakers tonight. But the two highlights, the two guys that, there's going to be a lot of focus and attention paid to all season long for the Lake Show, Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell. Those are the two players that came in the offseason, one in a trade, one signs in free agency. Love what that potential is going to look like for the Lakers moving forward. Dennis Schroeder, very active. Dennis Schroeder is 6'3". I'm not even sure if he's even 6'3" or not. 12 rebounds for Dennis Schroeder. 8 assists for Dennis Schroeder. 4 points. I remember him saying, by the way, I only shot 5 of 15 from the field, so you'd like to see him be more efficient from the field. But I remember Dennis Schroeder during one of his Zoom calls making mention and talking about this. He said that one of the players that he idolized growing up was Rajon Rondo. And you could actually see in his game there is a lot of Rondo. So that's what we got from Dennis Schroeder. Montrezl Harrell, exactly as advertised. Complete energy guy. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, a block shot. But ultimately, if the Lakers are going to, obviously bounce back when we play the Dallas Mavericks, or the next time that you face the Los Angeles Clippers, or when you start playing upper echelon teams in the Western Conference, ultimately you got to play defense. And that's what it's all going to come down to. You play defense on a consistent basis and you make it happen from that perspective, good things are going to happen. If that's not the case and you're giving up 116 points, or you're giving up 39 points in the first quarter, 33 points in the third quarter, you're probably not going to win a lot of those games. It would have been nice too, when Paul George got going, is that there were more adjustments on Paul George. Now, PG was hitting tough shots. It's not like Paul George was just it's not like these were uncontested shots, but it would have been nice to kind of throw some different looks. And this is going to be the process for the Lakers. I mean, the process for the Lake Show is going to be very simple. That process is going to look like this. The first 30 days from now and the next 30 days, the team's going to look a lot different. And then 60 days from now, it's probably going to look a lot different as well. There's going to be a lot of different things, I think, looks and timing and players getting accustomed to playing with each other, that Lakers are going to get accustomed to, that over time, I think, obviously this team's going to be more effective. And I'm not here trying to make excuses. An L is an L. The Lakers took an L tonight. And let's not, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They came out where you can easily tell that the Clippers were incredibly motivated to come out in this game, where I think the Los Angeles Lakers came out and that energy probably wasn't there the way that you would expect it to be. And if you want to put that towards them getting their championship rings, you can, but it is, obviously excuse. 877-710-ESPN. I do want to grab a couple quick phone calls here while we get a second. Joe in the Inland Empire. Joe, I appreciate you calling in. You're on the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show. Go ahead, bud.
What's up, Allen? Hey, how you doing? I just wanted to say, I'm not gonna say that I'm tripping that we won or lost today, really, but today was kind of like, I don't like how LeBron starts off these games. I've been saying it since the preseason, that LeBron, he's kind of, trying to take his time getting into the games, but we need somebody that's going to start the games off that wants to play good. And I think Taylor Horton-Tucker, he needs to be in the start lineup. Like you said, Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell, they got a chemistry. Put Dennis Schroeder on the bench and start Taylor Horton.
Let me say this, Joe. Let me say this, and I appreciate you calling in. And I'm gonna trust me. I'm gonna line up the calls. We'll take a lot of calls throughout this post game show. But let me start off with this. Things are gonna change over the next 30 days. There's no guarantee that the starting lineup that we have is going to be the starting lineup moving forward. Dennis Schroeder will be fine in the starting lineup if that's the move that head coach Frank Vogel decides to make there. LeBron will be fine. Don't worry about LeBron James. He'll be fine. The Lakers will be fine. Don't worry about the Lakers. I don't think there should be crazy overreaction, but you could be disappointed still to, this first game for the Lakers. You could be disappointed that you lost to the Clippers. You could be disappointed in the way the Lakers kind of, you're starting a brand new season. You could be disappointed in all that stuff. But I am going to tell you that Lakers are going to need some time to be the team that we'll probably get accustomed to in the next 30 to 60 days. I think a lot of things are going to change. Rotations are going to change too. Lineups are going to change. Expect a lot of things to change because you really didn't get an offseason. You really didn't get much of a training camp. And, 4 preseason games is not going to set any stone. I mean, I can look at it right now and say, okay, well, Alex Caruso, he didn't get that much done tonight. I could look at KCP, only took 4 shots. Marc Gasol didn't even take a shot, hurt himself with the 5 personal fouls. And I could go to personal players as well, the Lakers stars. So things didn't line up, but I want it to be more on the defensive side. I just don't think Lakers made it happen on the defensive side. All right, we'll take more of your phone calls and react more when we come back. Thank you for tuning in. 877-710 ESPN. It's a Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Keyshawn. Hey, it's Keyshawn. LA's mega sports lineup.
Are you ready?
On LA's mega sports station. Start your day with me, Keyshawn. 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Keyshawn, Jay Will, Zubin, and Travis Rogers. Here with you each weekday morning. Mike Greenberg. Greeny is back on your radio from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. At 11, you loved him for years on 710. Max is back. Max Kellerman for your lunch hour. And at 1 p.m., my guys Mason and Ireland are back in middays until 4 p.m. How about a little afternoon flavor with George Sedano and LZ Granderson? Sedano and LZ until 7. And the LA Sports Talk Now don't stop until 10 p.m. each weeknight. Scott Kaplan holds it down at night. The all-new 710. Don't get it twisted, homeboy. The best sports talk in LA on 710 ESPN.
On 710 ESPN.
5 breadsticks for my triple treat. 3 layers deep, 10 Cinnabon mini rolls to eat, and a pizza plus another pizza. The triple treat box, only from Pizza Hut.
This is a Lakers town.
It's an incredible fan base, and there's nothing like it.
And nobody covers the Lakers better than Allen Sliwa on Lakers Talk.
And the Lakers are as positioned right now to go back-to-back with LeBron James and Anthony Davis as good as any other team in the league.
All the latest news surrounding the purple and gold. Hear Lakers Talk Monday at 7 p.m. on the ESPN app or anytime wherever you get your podcast. Post-game show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line. Brought to you by Pizza Hut and the Triple Treat Box. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas, breadsticks, and Cinnabon mini rolls for just $21.99. Every day is a holiday at Pizza Hut.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers Postgame.
Now, here's Allen Sliwa.
Lakers lose to the Los Angeles Clippers, 116-109 the final score. 0-1 on the season. Points in the Paint all season long is sponsored by Vista Paint. Right now, local residents can take 40% off factory direct high-quality Vista Paint products. A Vista Paint team member will show you how. Locally owned, manufactured, and operated since 1956. Vista Paint. All right, points in the Paint tonight, 50-38. Clippers over the Lakers, 50-38. They have that advantage. And by the way, that's not a stat we're accustomed to, at least last season, right? We're not accustomed to seeing that where the Lakers are getting beat, points in the paint. Ivica Zubac's had a lot of points in the paint. Kawhi obviously gets to the basket. Guys are finding ways to get to the basket. I felt like Paul George, most of his stuff was from the perimeter. But there was, certainly the Clippers taking advantage of some of the lack of size for the Lakers. By the way, if there's one weakness that we can talk about with the Lakers, that's going to be the question mark. Do the Lakers have enough size defensively? Marc Gasol had 5 fouls, only played 12 minutes, so it's not like Marc Gasol was sitting down low. So there really wasn't much of a rim protector. You lose a lot of size when you go Montrezl Harrell and Markieff Morris. You're not typically going to have a ton of your size there when it's those two players. So we'll obviously have to see how the Lakers kind of address that, and hopefully Marc Gasol can play longer next time around. All right, let's go to Lakers head coach Frank Vogel, courtesy of Spectrum Sportsnet. Here's Coach on the Lakers' 116-109 loss to the Clippers.
Hey, Frank, what did you see as the biggest difference in that first quarter when the Clippers jumped out to that 22-point lead?
Yeah, I mean, they came out really hot. We had some good looks. We weren't going down. I think we turned the ball over a few times during that stretch, but obviously, they just jumped on us early, and we'll have to go back to the tape and see exactly what happened.
You mentioned all preseason you were going to play the extended rotation and keep some guys' minutes down. I think it was 11 tonight. LeBron and AD played limited. How does that impact what you're trying to get to on the floor with rotations, and how is that going to play out for the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll continue to evaluate game to game. It's not ideal, but I do feel it's necessary, both to manage guys' minutes the right way and lengthen their rotations throughout the game. Getting through this stretch healthy is a priority, and and evaluating how our new guys fit is a priority. Which we have had a normal amount of time to evaluate. So we'll continue to look at that, and I'm sure we'll get different lineups along the way. But the 5 guys on the floor got to be better than we were tonight.
Frank, could you speak to the little run that Paul George went on late in the third quarter that seemed to give them momentum back to the Clippers, and what your defense was or wasn't doing in that situation?
Yeah, a lot of it was on one-on-one coverage or off the screen where we weren't finding enough resistance, and we tried to bring more help as he was getting hot. But by then, most of the damage had been done. But he just had a terrific night. And like I said, a lot of it was one-on-one situations, which we gotta do a better job of pushing up on him and making sure that we're bringing appropriate help.
Hey, Frank, how did you evaluate Marc Gasol's night? Obviously, got into that early foul trouble. Just what do you take away from just seeing him out there tonight?
Yeah, he's going to be fine. Obviously, being matched up with a three-point shooter, it was a challenge for all bigs. We have positions in place that we weren't sharp enough covering for him. And, I'm disappointed in myself. I didn't put the ball in his hands more in the top of the key like we did in the preseason. To take advantage of his passing ability. So, part of learning new players and guys getting comfortable and acclimated, and then the foul trouble limiting themselves as well.
Kyle?
Hey, Frank, related to what Mike was asking earlier, you take out, I think LeBron didn't check in after the almost 8-minute mark, and then AD comes out with about 3.5 minutes left, and obviously, it was a big lead, but not a huge lead. Are those decisions that you're going to be a little more conservative in making, given sort of the long-term goals and some of the early season health concerns you talked about with us, especially with those two guys?
Absolutely. We're going to be conservative with their minutes early on in the season, and we have the depth to do it. We didn't play well enough to win a game tonight. But, we have the depth to manage our minutes intelligently early on in the season while we're trying to get our legs under us. And, we'll continue to do so. And, like I said, we have the depth for guys to fill in and still play winning basketball during those stretches.
Dan, Wilkie?
Hey, Frank. Can you take us back to pregame? We saw the look on your face when you saw your wife and your daughters up there. You pulled the mask down a little bit and flashed a huge smile Did you know that was coming? And then I guess secondly, what was it like to have to turn all of that emotion off in 6 minutes? And how difficult was that?
Yeah, I didn't know that was coming. That was something I'll never forget. It was really a great moment. I love my family, my wife, Jenny, my daughters, Alexa and Ariana. To show up, delivering that message in that moment was a surprise, and I certainly got a little choked up. In terms of the turnaround, I'm able to do it, and I think our guys were able to do it. We didn't play well in the first quarter, but I don't know if it was totally about the ring ceremony. And once it's over, you appreciate it. You know how special it is. But you move on. You move on quickly. You get into the game. Game comes quick, and you got to get focused. And I think our guys are. I think our guys were, even though we didn't play very well, obviously, in the first quarter.
All right, that's Lakers head coach Frank Vogel on the 116-109 loss to the Clippers to start off the season. You're listening to the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show. If you want to be a part of the show, and I will take a couple quick phone calls here, get Laker fans' thoughts, 877-710-ESPN. Let's go to Malik in Thousand Oaks. Appreciate you calling in. You're on the postgame show. Go ahead, bud.
How you doing, Allen?
Doing good, man. Thank you.
Yeah. I just want to talk about our new center, Marcus Gasol this season. I just think it's going to be good. People are just overreacting. I know he's like not that fast of a player, and he's known for his defensive attribute. And I just want people just to know that he's going to be good.
Well, and I appreciate you calling in. Just to hit on Marc Gasol real quick. Listen, 5 fouls, struggled today, and his preseason wasn't all that as well. He'll probably need some time to get back his timing right and everything else. And he's a different style of player than the Lakers are accustomed to the last couple of years. You had JaVale McGee. Of course, you had Dwight Howard last year. So stylistically, he's going to be different. There's going to be certain things that he brings to the table that somebody else doesn't, or those that those players didn't, and vice versa. Ben in L.A. Ben, thank you for calling in, bud. You're on the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show here on 710 ESPN.
Yes. Hi. Hello, Allen. How you doing?
What's up, buddy? What'd you think?
I'm doing good. I just it was very crazy seeing Paul George to go off in the end of the third quarter.
We couldn't stop him, Ben. We couldn't stop him.
Yeah, we have to stop him. The defense,
Ben, appreciate you calling in, Ben. Appreciate you calling in. Let's keep going. Let's go to Pedro in Inglewood. Pedro, thank you for calling, bud. Go ahead. All right, let's go to Scooter in L.A. Scooter, thank you for being a part of the show. Go ahead. You're on the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show. All right, we'll get back to some of these calls. Phone number is 877-710-ESPN. Lakers lose to the Clippers, 116-109, the final score. They got another chance coming up on Christmas night. And if there's a time, I will say this, if there is kind of a moment for the Lakers, at least in the near future, they can easily come out against the Dallas Mavericks, get right back to work. And I think the having a loss and the way the Lakers lost to a team like the Los Angeles Clippers, I'm sure the Lakers will come out on Christmas night in a much different position than they came out tonight as far as energy goes. More coming up next. Lakers lose 116-109 the Clippers. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Keyshawn. You ready? LA's mega sports lineup.
Are you ready? On LA's mega sports station.
Start your day with me, Keyshawn, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Keyshawn, Jay Will, Zubin, and Travis Rogers. Here with you each weekday morning. Mike Greenberg, Greeny is back on your radio from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. At 11, you loved him for years on 710. Max is back. Max Kellerman for your lunch hour. And at 1 p.m., my guys Mason and Ireland are back in middays until 4 p.m.
How about a little afternoon flavor with George Sedano and LZ Granderson?
Sedano and LZ until 7. And the LA Sports Talk Now don't stop until 10 p.m. each weeknight. Scott Kaplan holds it down at night.
The all-new 710.
Don't get it twisted, homeboy. The best sports talk in LA on 710 ESPN.
On 710 ESPN.
5 breadsticks for my triple treat. 3 layers deep, 10 Cinnabon mini rolls to eat, and a pizza plus another pizza. The triple treat box, only from Pizza Hut.
This is a Lakers town.
It's an incredible fan base, and there's nothing like it.
And nobody covers the Lakers better than Allen Sliwa on Lakers Talk.
And the Lakers are as positioned right now to go back-to-back with LeBron James and Anthony Davis as good as any other team in the league.
All the latest news surrounding the purple and gold. Hear Lakers Talk Monday at 7 p.m. on the ESPN app or anytime wherever you get your podcast.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line. Brought to you by Pizza Hut and the Triple Treat Box. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas, breadsticks, and Cinnabon mini rolls for just $21.99. Every day is a holiday at Pizza Hut.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Allen Sliwa.
877-710-ESPN if you want to be a part of the show. Lakers lose to the Clippers 116-109, the final score. One of the positives for the Los Angeles Lakers was getting a chance to watch Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder ended up in the starting lineup, 28 minutes for the Lakers, 14 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists. His first regular season game with the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's take a listen to Dennis Schroeder, his thoughts on his performance, on the Lakers' loss. Dennis Schroeder, courtesy of Spectrum Sportsnet.
It's something special. I think they, played a hell of a season last season, and just to see that, to be around it, and feel the atmosphere even without no fans. It was special, and I think everybody who plays basketball reached that goal.
All right, let's go now to Kyle Goon.
Hey, Dennis. Before the season, you talked about how you were looking forward to trying to get a starting role in this team. I know you started before, but what does it mean to be an opening night starter, and what did you miss about it these last 2 years in Oklahoma City?
It's, everybody, me, I'm a team player, so, in OKC, I accepted my role, and they came straight to me, and so it's like, Dennis, you're going to come off the bench, bring the energy. For me personally, I just wanted to take that, that next step. That's about it. I just, whatever I can do to win games, I will do it. And everybody knows that as well. But at the end of the day, there was just one personal thing I had.
Okay, let's go now to Jovan.
Hey, Dennis. We saw it a bit in the preseason, you and Mark with the 2-man game, and then tonight you and Mark again, and you and Trez. Where would you assess your on-court chemistry with those two and kind of developing that 2-man game?
Like I said, I think it's a dangerous combination. But at the end of the day, we've been together for 9 or 10 days, and I had 5 practices. I think we got to feel each other out and see what everybody likes, and then we go from there, and try to build up and try to get better each day.
All right, that's Dennis Schroeder right there of the Los Angeles Lakers, so kind of giving his thoughts. I do want to take some phone calls here, 877-710-ESPN. I know there's a lot of Laker fans that want to react to this loss to the Clippers. Solomon and Lake Balboa, thank you for calling in, bud. You're on the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Oh, hey, Alan, thanks so much for taking my call. A couple of things. You said a really good adjective about tonight's game as a Laker fan, especially when you played the Clippers. Disappointing. The Lakers were kind of disjointed. They were sloppy. It was just a disappointing performance. And you alluded to something that I mentioned the last time we spoke. Defensively, when the Lakers, to me, again, I'm going to go back, when they had bigs and they had rim protectors and shot blockers, they made up for games where their offense wasn't clicking real well. Mm-hmm. They couldn't do that tonight. Why?
Go ahead, Solomon. Go ahead.
Yep. A little small.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. Keep finishing your point.
yeah, they're like you said, they're a little bit small, and I'm going to keep going on. And I don't mean to harp on it, but I still think they need another big. They need another big down low to make teams at least think about taking them inside.
Solomon,
Right
this
now,
is what I got. This is what I got confidence in. I appreciate you calling in. I got confidence in this. I got confidence in the fact that, let's just say hypothetically, that became an issue more and more throughout the season. Let's just say hypothetically that the Lakers, we find out in the next 30, 60 days that, you know what, they just don't have enough size. They need another backup center. They need another player that can be more of a kind of focus on the defensive side, make things more difficult when somebody gets in the paint. I got confidence that if that's where the Lakers are lacking the most, it will be addressed at some point. But I do not want to make it sound like that's going to be a problem every single game where Marc Gasol plays 12 minutes for the Lakers and had 5 fouls. So you really did not have a big tonight. You could say, okay, well, AD is your big, but that was one of the advantages last season. AD didn't have to go switch and play the 5, maybe until late game situations or late moments or whatever the case is. So it's a fair assessment for tonight. But I make it sound like that's going to be the issue every single night. Now, if we're sitting here and, this becomes the conversation over the next couple of months, I'm sure Rob Pelinka in the front office, by the time the trade deadline comes and the buyout market comes and everything else, that would be something that they address. But I don't think it's something that we got to worry about at the moment. Lakers just overall defensively as a team, Paul George shot 13 of 18 from the field. 13 of 18. I'll give PG credit. He was great tonight. He was hitting tough shots. But 13 of 18, you're not feeling the defense. You know what I mean? You're not – if Kawhi is going to go off for 26 points and he needs – how many shots did Kawhi end up taking tonight? Kawhi had 26 points. He took 26 shots. You live with it. Paul George had 33 points off just 18 shots. Only took 2 free throws, too. So it's not like those 33 points – 10 of those points were coming from the free throw line. So I do think defensively for the Lakers, that has a lot to do with it. Tim calling all the way out from Iowa. Tim, appreciate you calling in. You're on the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show here on 710. Go ahead, bud.
Thanks, Alan. Long-time listener. Much love to you. I just want to know, because I've been watching Taylor Horton-Tucker at State, and I've been watching him. He surprises me with his shooting, but I just want to know, why did Coach wait so long before he actually put him in? And when he did put him in, you could see him and KCP change the entire momentum of the game. Like, we were down by 20 plus, put them in, we came back within the push. And then also, as a starting lineup, I personally feel that Trash should start over Gasol, because Gasol is just not an athletic rim protector right now in this stage in his career. So, like, we need to do something. Like, we need to start Schroeder and KCP alongside LeBron, because they have great rapport with him. And then also, Gasol could feed the people off the bench. Like, he's a great passer, so I think that would be great. But
Tim, let me jump on you, or thank you for calling in. Let me go Taylor Horton-Tucker first. All right, so THT for the Lakers. Why did Coach wait on him? That's actually I will say this, in the pregame show, Michael Thompson really wanted to see Taylor Horton-Tucker get some opportunities. You want to see him get opportunities early on. Michael was pitching that he wanted THT to be the first guard off the bench for the Lakers. It obviously didn't happen. Taylor Horton-Tucker also got 3, I think, early fouls. So I think he was almost, in a sense, hurting himself some of his playing time. But if the argument is we got to get THT more playing time, give it some time. I think I wouldn't be surprised if that eventually happens. And then the other argument was, why don't you start Montrezl Harrell instead of Marc Gasol? Marc Gasol will be fine at the center position. I'm telling you, Laker fans, just give this thing a second. Marinate a little bit. I know we're all ready to make major changes, but they'll be fine. And I'll go back to it. That doesn't take away the fact that it is a disappointing loss if you're a Laker fan tonight, because you were expecting a better performance. 877-710-ESPN. Let's go to DJ Avi in L.A. Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, bud.
How you doing, Alan?
Doing good, man. Thank you.
To be honest, I wasn't so worried about this game because if you look at last season too, opening night, the Lakers lost to the Clippers, and how did we end the season? With the champ. So you shouldn't really be worried about this game. You know what I mean?
Well, I will tell you, whether you are worried or you are not worried, and thank you for calling in. There are some Laker fans out there that have some concern. Listen, I get it too. You're so accustomed now to, obviously this team and the hype behind this team. You're not expecting that many losses. You really, really are not expecting that many losses. So I get and I completely understand why Laker fans are thinking in their head, well, we're supposed to just come out and roll over the Clippers. I thought we were winning tonight. I did not think that the Lakers would lose tonight, but that wasn't the case. 116-109 the final score. Coming up next, we'll hear from LBJ. We'll hear from LeBron James. Stay right here. This is the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Keyshawn.
You ready?
LA's mega sports lineup.
Are you ready? On LA's mega sports station.
Start your day with me, Keyshawn, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Keyshawn, Jay Will, Zubin, and Travis Rogers. Here with you each weekday morning. Mike Greenberg, Greeny is back on your radio from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. At 11, you loved him for years on 710. Max is back. Max Kellerman for your lunch hour. And at 1 p.m., my guys Mason and Ireland are back in middays until 4 p.m.
How about a little afternoon flavor with George Sedano and LZ Granderson?
Sedano and LZ until 7. And the LA Sports Talk Now don't stop until 10 p.m. each weeknight. Scott Kaplan holds it down at night.
The all-new 710.
Don't get it twisted, homeboy. The best sports talk in LA on 710 ESPN.
On 710 ESPN.
5 breadsticks for my triple treat. 3 layers deep, 10 Cinnabon mini rolls to eat, and a pizza plus another pizza. The triple treat box, only from Pizza Hut.
This is a Lakers town.
It's an incredible fan base, and there's nothing like it.
And nobody covers the Lakers better than Allen Sliwa on Lakers Talk.
And the Lakers are as positioned right now to go back-to-back with LeBron James and Anthony Davis as good as any other team in the league.
All the latest news surrounding the purple and gold. Hear Lakers Talk Monday at 7 p.m. on the ESPN app or anytime wherever you get your podcast. Post-game show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line. Brought to you by Pizza Hut and the Triple Treat Box. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas, breadsticks, and Cinnabon mini rolls for just $21.99. Every day is a holiday at Pizza Hut.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Allen Sliwa.
Lakers drop game 1 of the new season, 116-109 the final score. LeBron James, by the way, and we'll spend a little time talking about LBJ. LeBron tonight, him and Anthony Davis combined 8 overs between those two players. LeBron, 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, 7 of 17 from the field. Very curious to get LeBron James' thoughts on the loss. Here's LBJ, courtesy of Spectrum Sportsnet.
Yeah, LeBron, suppose it's tricky to compare this to any of your previous ring nights, just given the circumstances, but wondered how that transition from the emotion of, the I Promise kids, your family, and then the game starts. How do you think, if at all, it impacted the first quarter, and how did that impact the game?
It's just weird on all facets, to be honest. Just a weird day. Celebrating a historic moment with our franchise and a historic run, what we did last year, and then having to do it without our family and friends and our fans. It's just a weird day, and all in all, and then having to get straight to competition basketball. Just a weird day, to say the least.
Anything stand out initially just from the basketball in this game?
Well, obviously, we didn't play to what we wanted to do in the first quarter, and then came out like gangbusters and hit us in the mouth, which was perfectly fine. We was able to withstand that, get back into the game, make a game out of it, and They did a good job of closing the third quarter out and kind of spreading that lead, and we weren't able to get back into the game after that. But this game one, it's the first test for us. We've literally been together for 9 days as a full group. We got some returning guys, but we got a lot of new pieces that's going to play a big role in our success this year. So we look forward to watching the film tomorrow and get better from tonight.
Dave. Dave,
you need to come off mute, Dave.
Thanks, LeBron. You called it a weird day, but certainly when we saw you walk away from center court holding the ring, marveling at the details of it, did you get appreciation for it? There's a ton of references to what you guys went through last season, 17 amethysts for 17 championships, 9.95 carats for 95 days in the bubble. Could you speak about the ring?
I mean, it was just a culmination of what we've been through, in 2019 to 20. So many ups and downs, a lot of adversity, just so many storylines and so many things that happen, both good and bad for our franchise. For that to cultivate the whole season, bringing it into all one moment, to be able to celebrate that moment with my teammates and our franchise. Like I said, it was a pretty cool feeling, but at the end of the day, you would definitely love to be able to do that with the fans, do that with our family, our friends, because they played sacrifice to that as well, throughout the whole season. So, like I said, happy to be a part of it, but, bittersweet for sure.
Dan?
Hey, LeBron. You mentioned sort of the weirdness. It's only been 72 since you guys won that trophy that was at center court. That's part of the reason why I'm sure your minutes were what they were tonight. How weird is that to be at the start of a season and not really turning the engine and pushing the gas all the way, or even more so than you normally would?
Yeah, I'm the day is over with. I'm very proud of what we was able to accomplish. I'm excited to move on to the next day. Like I said, it was, it even felt weird just having a basketball game today. For me personally, probably for a lot of other guys, but I'm happy we was able to get our foot underneath us. Happy we was able to get back on the floor. We know, what this season is going to, entail, but now we can move on. We can move on from last year's season. It was a hell of a run for us in 1920, but now we can focus on 2021. So, look forward to that.
Speaking of feet, sorry.
Go ahead, Dan. You can go ahead.
I was just going to say, speaking of feet, how's the ankle? It seemed like it got caught up underneath you a little bit.
Yeah, it did. I turned it pretty good, but I don't think it's going to stop me from playing on Friday. So, got a couple of days. Obviously, how I am about treatment, so I'll do that around the clock, and I think I should be fine by Friday.
Hey, LeBron, two questions. First of all, you had your phone on the court with you during the ring ceremony. Were you FaceTiming somebody, or what were you?
Yeah, I FaceTimed my wife first to see if I wanted her to be a part of that for sure. She didn't answer the phone. And then I FaceTimed my mom, and my mom answered, and I showed my mom what we were doing at that point in time, even though it was on television. I kind of just wanted her to be a part of it in the best way, shape, or form of her actually being there. So I was on the phone with my mom all the way up until, the ring started going. I could kind of pay attention to my teammates and see what was going on the Jumbotron. But that was a pretty cool feeling for me personally.
And then the second question just was, is it just hard to be back at game one and at the starting line, given that last year was everything that it was and it was such a marathon and 13 months to get to the mountaintop? Is it just hard for you to process starting over?
It's not the fact that it's starting over. It's the fact that it's here already. I've always had a routine of how I prepare going into a season after a finals run or after a playoff run, knowing the amount of time that I kind of have for my body, for my mind, for the team that we're going to be. And it was just so much uncertainty of when we're going to start the season, how we're going to start the season. Is it going to be December? Is it going to be early December? Is it going to be Christmas? Is it going to be January? Is it going to be all these other things? And then boom, December 1st training camp. first game of the season is happening on the 22nd. So it was just a lot. I can't even sit here and lie to you. It's just too much to kind of grasp. But we're in it now. Like I said, I'm happy today is over with, and we can focus on the season. But it's just a lot. It's a lot to process.
Okay, last two questions. Kyle Bloom.
Hey, LeBron. Frank has talked about, he wants to make more conservative decisions with you and AD, especially just in this early part of the season. You checked out with about 8 minutes left or so. Can you imagine some situations in the next couple of weeks where, the Lakers are trying to reduce your minutes and make sure that you're staying safe? You also feel like you might want to go into a game.
Yeah, that's going to be there'll be a balance. And obviously, coach decided me to, coach and my trainer, Mike, decided to hold me out those last 8 minutes. One, the game, we kind of got down 13. They were on the flow. They were flowing, and they had momentum more than we had. And also, I had just turned my ankle as well. So, they made the judgment to hold me out. There will be games where there will be a fine line or well balance of, okay, should I go back in if I'm at that minutes, if I'm high in minutes, or, should I stay out? So that's what communication is all about between myself and, and coach and Mike as well. So, it's game by game.
Last question, Rachel.
Hey, LeBron, what are you going to do with your ankle? You've had so many ankle turns over the years. What is your routine to get it ready for Friday?
I'll go home and have dinner right now, and I'll ice it, and I'll drink some wine that'll flow right to the ankle. Right, that recovery I can have.
Important.
Yeah, I'll make sure I drink on the left side of my body, so it just goes right down to my left leg, right down to my ankle. I'll be around the clock. I'll wake up tomorrow morning before I leave the house and also get some more treatment, and then get some at the facility as well, and just continue to do that. We have a couple of days, so like I said, I feel like I'll be fine.
All right, that's
thank you, LeBron.
I appreciate it.
That's LeBron James right there, and that gives kind of everybody a good idea of just his thoughts on this game. We could start turning the page, and don't get me wrong, the next couple of days, I know there's going to be a lot of conversation about the Lakers and why they lost the game. Tomorrow night I'll be filling in for Scott Kaplan, and I'll be on from 7 to 10. So I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to obviously talk about this Lakers loss. You could start tuning in tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. But the page will eventually be churned. The focus will turn to the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, the Lakers taking on the Dallas Mavericks on Christmas night. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. Opening night for the Los Angeles Lakers. Unfortunately, a loss against the Clippers. But the Lakers will get a chance to rebound on Friday. So thank you for tuning in. I'm Allen Sliwa. This has been the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Thank you for listening to Lakers basketball tonight. Game 1 of the season is in the books.
Lakers basketball on ESPN LA is sponsored by Subaru of Glendale, the #1 Subaru dealer in America. Lakers basketball.
Brought to you by Pizza Hut and the Triple Treat Box. 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas, breadsticks, and Cinnabon mini rolls for just $21.99.
Brought to you in part by Dignity Health. There's never been a better time to get the care you need. Visit dignityhealth.org/SoCal.
Coming up for the champs, Game 2 of the season and a Christmas night tradition at Staples. The Lakers battle Luka and the Mavs. Toyota Lakers countdown at 3:30 p.m. Tip-off from Staples at 5 p.m.